Well, welcome back, watch people. Now, what is this? Paul Thorpe doing an unboxing video. I think that's a first for my channel, but I tell you what it is, it's only the second watch that I've actually bought this year, and it is my second take on this video after I just spent 15 minutes doing a one take perfect video and then remembering that I'd left the clip-on mic in the other room. Typical. Right, so before we get to opening this Rolex here, this unveiling, there's a story attached to it, which I didn't really want to tell, but I'm going to tell it because I think it deserves to be told, because I think there's a lesson in every tale, really. But before we go any further, I want you to try and guess what's in the box before I actually open it. Now, I'm going to give you some clues along the way. And before we go any further, I'm wearing at the moment one of my favourite everyday beaters, which is the Casio G-Shock Frogman, the limited edition one. There's your first clue. I've always loved big watches, you guys know that. My favourite watch is the James Cameron Rolex Deep Sea Sea Dweller. Where did my passion for big watches come from? Well, I can tell you now, it started in about 1977. And I can remember to the day, the first image that struck me, wow, what is that watch he's wearing? It looks so impressive. I'm going to pop it up on screen now. It was Burt Reynolds in the film, the 1972 film Deliverance, where he played a bold, brash, loudmouth, confident individual who was bigger and bolder than life itself. And I think that's why the producers put what I thought at the time, at least, was a big watch on his wrist, and I was so impressed with the look that it stuck in my mind, and ever since that day I've always been a big watch man. I later found out that what I thought was a watch was actually a diver's compass, which was kind of a little bit shattering my illusion, really, but it just set me off, I think, on the big watch passion. So there's your second clue. Your third clue is that you know, I'll only buy watches that I think are going to do well in the future. And the reason that I think this watch will do well in the future is because you really don't see that many of them. And I'm not sure how long this watch is going to last. And it wouldn't surprise me if it disappeared off the Rolex radar anytime soon. So without further ado, let's open it up and then I'll tell you the story behind its acquisition. So there you go, guys. It is the 43mm, £13,300 list price Rolex model reference 126603. There we go, we finally get it in focus. Now, let me tell you the story behind this watch. And it's, as I said, it's not one that I'm particularly going to enjoy telling, but as I said, it needs to be told. My friend who acquired this watch for me went into central London today to keep his appointment to pick up his BLRO Pepsi GMT, and he was told that there may be a chance that there will be one or two other watches there that he could potentially buy if he wanted whilst he was in the store. So, not knowing exactly what he was going to be offered, my friend went prepared potentially to buy another watch. When he got there, there was nothing on offer that he particularly wanted, so he rang me and said, "Paul, look, I'm in the store. They're offering me this Sea Dweller, would you like it?" He said, "But I've got to be honest with you, if you don't, I'll be quite happy." And I said, "Well, why is that?" He said, "Because I just don't want to give these people my money. Quite frankly, I'd like to tell them to poke both the watches where the sun doesn't shine." And I said, "Well, look, you know, what's going on to make you feel that way?" And he said, "Well, look, I've rung on the doorbell, and the first thing they've come to the door and said, rather grumpily, 'Have you got an appointment?' And I said, 'Yes, I have.' And they said, 'Right, well, come in.' So he said, I went in, I sat down for 15 minutes. Nobody asked me if I wanted a drink. Nobody asked me if I was okay. I was just sat there feeling like a bit of a lemon, waited for 15 minutes for a salesman to eventually come up, asked for my details, went out the back, bought out the watch. Just didn't seem that you wanted to speak to him at all. Paul, he said, you know, I just felt I wasn't wanted in the store. And then he said, look, I was told that there might be another watch or two here for me if, you know, I wanted. And the salesman looked at him and said, oh, I very much doubt it. Let me go and check with the manager. And again, he said, you know, I was just so taken back by the appalling attitude. And he came back 15 minutes later and said, you can buy this if you want. You can buy this if you want. Like, we're doing you a massive favour. If you want to buy a watch for £13,300, you can. And you can thank us on the way out. So my friend rung me up and said, look, do you want to take the watch, Paul? If you want it, you can have it at list. I don't mind buying it. You can pay me when I get back. But quite frankly, I'd like to tell him to shove it where the sun don't shine. Unfortunately for my friend, I decided that I wanted to take it. And then when he went back to the salesman to say, yes, I'll take the watch, he just simply said to him, how are you paying? You know, just an appalling, shocking attitude. And to make matters even worse, he didn't set either of the watches before they left the store. Both the bezels were misaligned, something like this. So the time wasn't set, the date wasn't set, there was no offer to remove any links, there was no offer to teach him how the watches worked, nothing whatsoever. It was just like, get in and get out of my shop as quickly as you possibly can. And to put a cherry on the cake, if you like, the way this guy filled in the warranty cards, well, look, I've got grandchildren that can write better than that and spell better than that. One of them, the name of the branch is almost, not quite, but almost spelled incorrectly. I'd love to show you, but it would give too much away. But I can 100% promise you that if my 7-year-old granddaughter wrote like this, I'd want to sit her down at the table and teach her to write better. I'm sorry, it's just got to be said. And sometimes, you know, I've just made a video with David Khalil that he posted, I think last night or the night before last, during which we both do our absolute best to try and get off the back of some of the authorised dealers. We've been trying to give them a bit of credit, trying to say, you know, look, they do play an important role in the watch world, and of course they do, but then something like this comes along just a day or so after that video is released, and you know what, it makes me feel like taking it all back again. These people need to realise they are salesmen only. How dare they speak to my friend in such a fashion? My friend is a very, very wealthy individual, very wealthy indeed. And to be spoken to by someone working in a Rolex shop in that fashion is just unforgivable. Now, I wouldn't be so crass as to name the store or the salesman, because I do have his name, it's on the receipt of the watch. I wouldn't do that. I don't want to lose someone their job. But what I do hope is that someone at Rolex sees this video and sends out a memo to all of their authorised dealers that their staff need to understand that the watch buying public know what they are. They're salesmen, okay? They are no different from people that work in JD Sports or Tesco's or anywhere else. They are working behind a counter. That's not to talk down people that work in JD Sports or Tesco's. What I'm saying is the people that work in Rolex are no better than you. They're all the same. You're salesmen. And with all due respect, you need to understand that the buying public know this. Stop talking to people like with a godlike complex, because quite frankly, you do yourself, you do the branch that you're working for, and you do the watch industry itself no justice whatsoever with a stinking attitude. And it hurts me because I spent years being what I consider someone that cared very deeply about customer service and customer care, and I trained all of my staff myself right down from start to finish. I would teach them how I wanted everyone, no matter how they were spending money, whether it was £1 or £101,000, it didn't matter to me. Everyone should be treated the same. And I'm just tired of some of the godlike complex of some of these people that work in a shop. That's all they are. sales staff. Sorry for that little rant at the end, but honestly guys, it really makes my blood boil. So I'm going to end this video with a little wrist shot just to show you what this watch actually looks like on my wrist. No doubt the camera will go hideously out of focus for a bit at least. So there's the watch, still unset, got a little bit of seal on it. He missed that one, didn't he? Clever Dick. Took great pleasure in insisting that all the seals would have to come off of the watch, but despite being a Rolex expert, he doesn't know that there are seals on the bracelet as well. But there you go guys, so that's what it looks like, the Rolex 126603. Really pleased to add it to my collection. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll speak again soon.